Hi,
Hello.
it's me, Travis of Giggles and Bits, and Tam, who skipped out on us last week because she had better things to do. So,
I had a sleep attack.
yeah, you sounded really sleepy. Let's go there. Yeah, that's basically what it was, a
It
sleep attack.
was.
So, let me get this shared out to Twitter real quick. And
Okay.
yeah, this is last week was tough. Doing an hour by myself is tough when I was expecting to have a conversation with with people or with you, and yeah, that was fun.
I checked
Uh,
out the show like during. I
oh,
watched it a
did
little
you?
bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were the
And then
one
I saw
person.
you went an hour and I was like, "Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna do like a shorter version
Yeah,
of it."
yeah. Sometimes I think I'm gonna do a short one, and then I realize that I can ramble for like a really long time for no reason, and yeah, I went in an hour, so I'm just a rambling man. Yes, Barry, you were upstairs. Why don't you just stay upstairs? What a jerk.
It seems like it's been a busy week in entertainment.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of sad stuff and, yeah, some good stuff. Tweeted. Okay, sorry. That took forever to type that out because I'm a slow typer. Me slow. Okay, so, yeah, I guess the first thing I want to do is sort of pay respects to um, two, uh, I mean, my opinion, very beautiful women and very talented women who passed away this week. One from cancer, long battle, Olivia Newton-John, and we'll get to her and just the we'll touch on her stuff and then some of the things that I guess the first thing that I saw her in was probably the same thing that you saw her in, and we'll even like she's in some of her songs, like everybody remembers "Let's Get Physical." I feel like that's the one that everyone remembers because it was just like she was such a nice and gorgeous woman to see her in that music video where she's just like she's in that like 80s, like very 80s like unitard with like the cover up and everything, and she's on the machine and stuff like that. She's like, "Let's get physical." Physical, and then like I just remember all of that and her interactions like with like the people on there. It was like a very simple uh music video, but it was a lot of fun to watch. We'll talk about that stuff. There's She had other songs that are really really good, um that I think people kind of look over a little bit, but she was fun to watch. And then Anne Hesh, who actually a week ago. What was it? Last Friday. I think it was last Friday. Um, had the car accident. I talked a little bit about that. I think on the live stream last Saturday, and it was very shocking seeing some of the footage of that. And initial reports were that she was in stable condition, and it was looking like she was going to make it. She was going to pull through. And which I was surprised because I saw the like I think I even commented on the damage in on the that I saw for the house and how long she was in the house. I think it was like 25 minutes she was trapped in her car inside the house with this that was burning around her. And I was shocked to hear that they were saying that she was going to recover from that. Um, and yeah, and unfortunately, some of my like um, misgivings about that ended up, coming to fruition, and we saw that as we're seeing now. Yesterday, they announced that she was officially brain dead, and they haven't taken her off of life support. So, but for all intents and purposes, she's passed. She's gone. So we want to talk about her, and we'll talk about how, like, well, I guess we can touch a little bit about on her and sort of the, like, pulp culture crossroads that she was in at the time that she was um, at the height of her career in the mid to the late 90s. Because, what's funny is I thought she was already famous when she was in the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. I doubt many people remember that, but there's just like great scene at the end of the movie where like it's like they touch on racism just a little bit, where everyone's covered in ashes, and and you can't tell if anyone's black or white or anything like that. And then this little kid at the end of the movie is like, everyone looks the same. And everyone is like, yeah, everyone does look the same. And it's like, you can't, people are people. Like, you can't see the different colors of everyone's skin. It's just people helping people at the end of the movie. Everyone's covered in ash. And it's a nice little message, really corny the way it's done, but it's a nice little message nonetheless. Um, but yeah, she was pretty good in that. She plays I think a scientist in that show, and then she was. I thought she was already famous at that point, but she actually hit her peak later with other movies and television, and she continued to act long after I thought she was already gone. I mean, she had her, like, unfortunate public meltdown on interviews and stuff like that, where she was claiming that she had been abducted by aliens and that she was possessed by a cosmic entity named Celeste. I think. Do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like, and all this came out during interviews. She had like the craziest, like, wildest interviews. And I think she was just in a, um, given what we know about Hollywood and the pressures that go on behind it, not just with regards to maintaining your popularity, but the pressures done behind the scenes with regards to, um, fitting in and doing things and you have to be this, like, um, overt social butterfly, and there's a lot of pressure to fit in. I think a lot of those pressures got to Anne, and we saw that manifest in the shape of her, um, mental health outburst that she had in her interviews. But yeah, that was a bit wild to see that all come out, but it was good to see her sort of popping up in shows here and there, doing voice work. And it's very sad to see her life come to an end like this. But she was a great person. Let me pull this up real quick, and as punishment for missing out on last week, I had you read up on Anne Heche to give us some pointers on what's going on. So let me get this switched over. There we go. All right. So, like I said, she passed away. So you've gotten caught up on all this? What are some of your thoughts and um, about how this all played out? And what are your thoughts on her as well?
It was yeah. So because of all this happening, obviously I looked a little bit more into her career. Um, and it was just interesting to kind of see because I remember her from that movie, 6 Days and 7 Nights. I thought I just loved her in that movie. I didn't realize she was 29
Yeah,
or around that age during
yeah.
filming. Uh, but yeah, I kind of always wondered what happened to her because I knew she like did some TV series here and there, and she showed up in some movies, but it didn't really seem like she really had the trajectory that I thought she was going to have
Hmm.
in terms of her Hollywood stardom. And that kind of led me down to this path of I remember when she was dating Ellen DeGeneres
Hmm.
in the 90s,
Yeah.
I believe it was. And one of the articles there, it said that she had commented, or it was thought that the reason that her like her time in Hollywood didn't uh wasn't as, I guess, successful, or she wasn't as in as many films as because of her relationship with Ellen, which makes complete sense. during
Yeah,
that time. But
yeah,
yeah, the article, I don't know if it was biased or not because it was kind of talking about how Anne Heche's career kind of dwindled and Ellen's just went from strength to strength, you know.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, yeah, I saw the headline for that article. I think actually that wasn't that the New York Post
I'm not sure,
that came up with that one. I can let me look that up real quick.
but I thought that was really interesting. But you know, I also knew that she had some uh issues with her mental health, just with things that were going around, like just articles that were released. And like you said, the things that she said, it didn't seem
Hmm.
like.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bit strange because yeah, you're right. She did just kind of drop off a cliff, but a lot of that happened after her interview. Um, after she gave, I think, two or three interviews where she was like literally like she was like talking in like what she claimed were alien tongues, and that she had been communing with aliens, she had been visited, and that she was actually possessed by some entity named Celeste. Like she had a separate personality, and she went like full on in these interviews, like dedicated to talking about this stuff, and it was um, it was just really it was really strange. That was part of the, like um, here it is. Was this the article? Her how her life
Uh,
fell apart after Ella DeGeneres affair.
that
This
wasn't
is
the
the one I
exact
saw.
article that I read, but it was, I'm sure,
Yeah,
very
I saw
similar to
this.
the other one that was written.
Yeah, I saw this and I thought it was a bit unfair, the headline, because I don't think it necessarily contributes back to Ellen, to say that it all happened that way, and I wonder if they even talk about it here, um, because yeah, she was huge. She was the it girl. She was like the equivalent of like Penelope Cruz in the early to well, actually throughout the entire 2000s. It seemed like Penelope Cruz after she did Vanilla Sky, which is actually a remake of the exact same foreign film that she made some years before. Tom Cruise just absolutely fell in love with her, and he wanted to remake the movie himself. And so that's how Vanilla Sky got put into production, and then she got cast to play the exact same role, I believe, in the movie, and like that's a great movie. I fucking love that movie. But it's just really weird how like I feel like Tom almost like put the whole thing together just so he could meet Penelope Cruz. But yeah, Penelope Cruz is like the it girl in the 2000s, just like oh my gosh, I'm kind of out of the loop on movies the last few years, so I'm not really. Oh, Jennifer Lawrence, like Jennifer Lawrence for a while in the teens was the it girl, and Anne Heche was very
Mhm.
much like the it girl in the late 2000s, and she had a great trajectory, but she went on to something happened where she had like a complete mental breakdown, and I think that's really what contributed to it. I can pull up her filmography here real quick. Um, because like I said, the first time I can remember seeing her was in Volcano, which is right here. So she played Dr. Amy Barnes. I don't really remember her from Donnie Brasco, um, or or any of these other movies. Oh, is your work calling?
No.
No. I don't
Someone else
remember
this
her at
time.
all from Milk Bunny.
I don't remember her in that movie either. You know, honestly, when I was looking at Anne Heche's career
Hmm.
and uh, just her mental health issues as well, I'm always surprised that more celebrities don't. I'm sure a lot of them do. I mean, they have to have mental health issues just because with the fame
Hmm.
and then with the money and then just that environment itself, that has to
Yeah.
be really hard mentally to get used to.
Well, yeah, and like it's one of those, oh man, like you get like it's one of those environments where people the people that have power out there in Hollywood have so much power. So much power. Your career is um kept afloat or sunk by the word of some of the people that are in Hollywood, especially um, around that time where it seemed sort of unchecked. Like there wasn't the Me Too movement calling out every other celebrity for their deviancies. There it was just sort of like, like those people live in a completely different world than we do, and then
For sure.
that started to sort of spill over. But yeah, I mean, she maintained pretty consistently. She kept getting work,
Hmm.
which I think is very surprising because I feel like she disappeared, right? But she's
Yeah, it
been,
did seem like she wasn't in
yeah,
any like major motion picture or anything that I would have
yeah, and I didn't even
seen.
know that she was in Hung. Um, I mean, I guess, what do I know? I think well, I maybe I do have like a vague memory of her being in this TV series Hung, which is she was in with Thomas Jane, and I think they were together for a while. I think they even had a kid for a little bit. He must be heartbroken. He was really hoping she would pull through from what the comments that he made. But yeah,
Hmm.
I don't really see. I guess the spotlight just got off of her, and she was able to continue to work. I'm really surprised by some of this. I mean, I haven't seen any of this. Oh, I didn't even
Honestly,
know
that
she was
seems
in.
like the oh, Adventure Time.
Yeah. I didn't even know she
Honestly,
was
I
in that.
feel like that's the best of both worlds. Like she was consistently still getting work, but she didn't have the spotlight on her.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that she was probably getting a lot of yeah, I wonder if this wasn't probably like some of like the best like time in her life where like that, she was just able to take on whatever project she wanted. It looked like she was working pretty consistency. There like you see some actors and actresses like throughout their career where they only do like little bitty spots on television series, but it looks like she was getting booked as recurring characters like several times over.
Hmm.
Somebody's just walking up to my door to my house. I'm not answering it. And Bethany won't answer it. But yeah, the that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's very sad. So surrounding what had happened, uh it looks like the it's very strange because I think I mentioned this last week. It's very strange leading up to the actual accident. So she seemed like I just don't understand this. She seemed completely coherent. She seemed normal. Um, there's a selfie floating around that was taken at a department store, I think, right
Yeah, wig
before the
store.
initial accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she crashes into that garage at some apartment complex or something along those lines. And then
People were trying
after,
to get her to get out of the car.
yeah, yeah, but she was refusing, and she, very clearly in the pictures, you can see that there's a bottle of liquor in the front seat with her and one of the drink holders. And the next thing you see is her traveling at high speed down a residential street and then crashing into a house. Um, this is really heartbreaking. Like reading here, Anne Heche's son paid tribute. Family had lost a kind, most joyous soul, loving mother and loyal friend. And in another statement, her son wrote, Homer wrote, "My brother Atlas and I lost our mom after 6 days of almost unbelievable emotional swings. I'm left with a deep, wordless sadness. Hopefully, my mom is free from pain and beginning to explore what I like to imagine as her eternal freedom." That's um, that's a very touching way to put it. Um, for being 20 years old, there's a lot of wisdom in those words right there. Man, Yeah, so if you haven't caught up on what exactly her status is right now, she is brain dead. She's still on life support, like I mentioned before, and she's basically, I guess, folks are just getting a chance to visit her, and um,
Yeah, I think they haven't done it yet
yeah,
because they're doing the match for organ donation.
hmm
Um, I wonder where they are in the process of that.
yeah. I wonder. Well, I mean, I wonder if they have to give her time to for her body to flush some of the that were in her system. They did say that the blood work said that there was uh, narcotic traces found in her blood. They haven't released specifically what that means. I did see another article
Yeah.
earlier saying that the police weren't going to investigate the crash any further because she passed away.
Yeah, I saw that same thing about the narcotics, but they also kind of had like a caveat like saying that they weren't sure what was given by medical personnel at the scene, like they hadn't differentiated, the narcotics that were given to her
Right.
to help her versus things what she may have taken
Mhm.
on her own.
Yeah, and I wonder if she had given her mental health problems in the past, if she was still on some form of if she was taking medication for that in addition, um well, not in addition, in taking medicate being prescribed medication for that to help her get through those things. Oh, ignore that guy. You quiet motherfucking John. Um but there are some medications that are prescribed for mental health needs that react very negatively with alcohol, almost advances or enhances the amount of the effects that alcohol will have on your system. 'Cause my you know um, I've seen it where somebody takes a drink of alcohol on that stuff, and it's almost like they're just complete like it's like they had 4 drinks, they just took like
Hmm.
rapid succession, took a bunch of shots, and they're just I mean, it makes for a cheap night, but it's incredibly dangerous if you try to drink like you normally do. But it happens quick. There's no delay on that. Like the moment it starts to hit your bloodstream, your body starts to react to that and the medication. That's the only thing I can think of that would probably line up with that. She was a beautiful woman. It's really a shame. I'm pretty there's not quite the same connection as like other celebrities, but it's just sad to see things kind of go out the way they do. You don't I always feel bad about the ones that died from overdosing or just a tragic accident on top of that, because there's so many different things that we could have gotten from creatives like this, and it's always interesting to see their bodies of work.
Yeah, it's always sad when someone goes too soon or before their time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And 53 is a pretty. I mean, that's a pretty ripe age. I mean, you get a lot of living done, especially if you're a celebrity. But it's still it's still
This is true.
pretty young. And then the other celebrity that we lost this week is Olivia Newton-John. This one's very crushing. This one, I
Oh,
was I guess not since probably Prince, when Prince passed away. That was probably the last time that I was like just shocked by the death of a celebrity. But she was 73, and this was her third round with cancer.
that's what I heard as well. But when this news came out, all I could think about was how in I think it was fifth grade, every morning I would watch Grease,
Yeah.
and you would be so upset with me.
Yes, I
And I would
love that movie.
specifically wake up early so that I could start it and no one could change it.
Yes, yes,
And I
you.
remember you yelling at or you're talking to mom, you're like, "She's watching that movie again."
Yeah, like I love Grease too, but
I
you
took it to another level.
you, you did that though. Like you were just that type of kid. You you would get obsessed with like a movie or a song, and it would just be on repeat. It would be on repeat
Yes.
forever and ever and ever. Like you don't think that somebody could sit down and watch Titanic every day for a whole week. Well, I'm pretty sure you did it for a month. I'm pretty sure you
I think
watched
I
3
did that with
hours.
Braveheart, but yeah, I probably did do that with Titanic
Yeah,
too.
no, you definitely did. You definitely did. Wearing out those double VHS, actually. Back then we had
Yeah,
VHS. So, yeah, in order to
I
watch
think I saw it
Titanic
like
and
3
Braveheart.
times in theaters.
That's so crazy. Yeah, and like you did that, right? With those movies, and people were getting upset with like the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, people are totally going to watch that multiple times. My sister went to Titanic multiple times.
Mhm.
Sitting 3 hours in a movie theater. Jeez. But yeah, she was always in there. Always always being played on the TV at that time. But
She
yeah,
was
that
definitely an icon.
yeah, I don't even know what was the reason that it became popular again. Because like I don't know what it was. We watched that movie and we absolutely loved it. I fell in love with Grease Lightning. Like that song was just awesome, you know. Like I was like I imagine like we were both like in the living room just like go Grease Lightning, you know? And that was just that was a lot of fun, and then the huge payoff at the end with the car race, like that was just like that was where my love of car racing came from. Like street racing was from Greece, as stupid as it sounds.
Yeah. So from what I remember is we were getting movies, and I think like I saw the VHS of Grease, or mom or dad or pointed it out or something, and
Mhm,
like they ended up getting it. They're like, "Oh, you'll like this movie," and then we watched it, and then
mhm.
it was over for me. Then this also started my obsession with John Travolta at the
Yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, I just
11-year-old me with John
I thought he
Travolta,
was
I just
incredibly
couldn't.
talented. I was like, "Holy crap,
Yeah.
like, he can sing, he can dance," and then I saw Saturday Night Fever. I always wanna call it
Oh yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
Night
yeah, yeah,
Live Fever, but I saw
yeah.
Saturday Night Fever, not too long after I saw Grease, and I was just blown away. Like, I was like, he's the most amazing talent of our generation." Like, to me, like, as a small child, like, John Travolta was, like he was it, and then I
He
find
could do it
out
all.
yeah, and then I find out Olivia Newton-John is not just an actress, but she's a pop singer from freaking Australia, you know? And yeah, that was a huge movie for both of us, I think, in terms of like
Yeah,
what we grew up, uh, what we ended up liking and stuff like that. So yeah, she was incredible. Yeah, she was already a popular singer by the 1970s. Uh, and then, yeah, her role as Sandy across from John Travolta was, yeah, that's what rocketed her to absolute stardom. Look at that. She was only 29 during filming. She was so young then. Um, actually, I would have thought she was a little bit younger than that. But yeah. Oh, did she? Let's see. Australian transfer student. Oh, okay, 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 okay. So that's just the synopsis for the show itself. What an incredible career. And then yeah, she's yeah, physical.
I always thought that was because I saw the music video first, I thought it was a workout video.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were talking about, like, so I just thought she was really into fitness.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I kinda did too. Like she was yeah, it reminded me a lot of like the Jane Fonda like workout tapes. Um those things were those were great. Yeah, she was just look at that smile. It's like the
Mhm.
greatest moment. Yeah, she's let's see. She said, I've had many lives in music. I've had country when I started, when I crossed over into pop, she told CNN. I had Xanadu and Grease, many songs in between. I feel very grateful. I have such a large repertoire to choose from. And but everything I've heard about her is she was just the kindest, like sweetest woman. Never allowed fame to get to her. She always made time for folks, but she also made it a point to not put herself and her family in the spotlight too much. and she's just man, she just reminded me like a classic like Hollywood royalty type of actress, where they um, they cared more about their craft and just enjoying the fact that they were blessed to have a career the way that they did, and
Hmm.
never made much to do about it. And I think that's why this one hurts a little bit, because it's almost like with this older generation of actors and actresses passing away, there's definitely like a this connection to the past Hollywood. It's definitely sort of um, fading and getting a little thinner, as we progress into the future. And there's some bright spots and stuff like that, but it's hard to see that changing of the guard of the people that we watched when we were kids are slowly moving on to their next great adventure.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, she was a sweetheart. And um, yeah, rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. That What a wonderful career she had. Um, I need to watch this one. I hear a lot of good stuff about this one.
I haven't watched
Xanadu.
it either. I've heard only good things too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know she had a song on the soundtrack of Face Off.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. Look at this. Like, this is just her acting credits. She did something. She played Olivia in the very excellent Mr. Dundee in 2020. I had no idea. Wow. Yeah, she was busy. She was very busy.
Hmm.
Goodness. Hopelessly devoted to you. This is my favorite. I like that one. That's one of my favorite songs. And then yeah, that was do you have any other thoughts, or did you share any other?
Rest in peace. She seemed like a sweet soul.
Yeah, she really did. And then okay, let's get into actual news. We spent 30 minutes reminiscing uh on two beautiful people, and life's not always beautiful. Oh my gosh. So this is scary. I pulled this one article up specifically, and but yeah, let's talk about Ezra Miller. Let's discuss this. I've been avoiding this topic for ever since the news started coming out, just because I don't like I don't like following mental health breakdowns with celebrities, especially when they happen in the public. There's already um, it's already tough enough being if you're not used to the attention, becoming a celebrity has got to be that much harder, because
Yeah.
not everyone that becomes an actor or an entertainer or musician is necessarily like an extrovert. So it's not for everyone. But and it all happens so publicly, you barely have any sort of you
Control
have it
over the narrative.
yeah, you have no
Or
control
yeah.
really. And yeah, it's there's no privacy for the most part. So I don't like to cover public mental health breakdowns for that particular purpose, because it's it just adds even more, and it can almost make it even crazier. But this has been in the making for a long time, and this is just getting scarier and scarier as it moves along. So if you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on with Ezra Miller, or you haven't seen any of the headlines, essentially what has happened is there's a whole bunch of information that has been coming out about Ezra, and a lot of this information started really pouring out when Ezra Miller was um, arrested in Hawaii. Now, what's crazy is that there was events that had happened before that had made it to the news, um, but it seemed to be squashed quite quickly, uh, to the point that it never really got any traction. So what I'm talking about is in uh, overseas in the summer, and I think it was in the Netherlands. He choke slammed a pregnant woman that was a huge fan of his, all due to I'm not really sure if it was a full on misunderstanding or what, like if there was more to what she had said. The written and witness accounts state that uh, she was talking him up. He must have gotten annoyed. They went outside. He thought that they were going, like she thought that they were going to just get pictures taken, and what ends up happening is the he starts shouting, "You want to fight?" This part gets caught on camera, and he grabs her and then basically puts her to like grabs her and puts her to the ground. And everyone's like, "Whoa, dude!" And so that video gets out, but it gets squashed pretty quickly. Never picks up any traction, and that happened a while ago. And then the stuff in Hawaii happened. That just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And when that information got out, then there was the Idaho family. I think they're from Idaho. Uh, I can't remember their name,
There's
but
several families involved, so it's hard to keep
yeah,
track.
there's the one girl he met when she was 12. There's several children that he met when they were 12, but this one, she's an Indian girl. She seems to have been with him the longest, but basically, from what I've read about that, from the parents' account, it looks like he was able to not only groom and manipulate the girl. This is all alleged. I'm going to put
Mhm.
that out there. This is alleged. Um, that he basically manipulated this girl, and in the process manipulated the family into being okay with the actions that he was taking with her, flying her not just across state lines, a minor, but internationally, overseas, to join him on different film sets. She's basically stays with him, and then all of a sudden she's with him like full time and being moved around. There's rumors that he has full possession of her cell phone, and it doesn't stop there. There's another girl at New York who um, was approached by Ezra at a birthday party. He was like a neighbor or something like that, and there was an incident involving that where he brandished a gun with somebody, got upset with somebody for using the term tribe. Um, tried to tell he tried to talk about his knowledge of Rastafarian customs with a Rastafarian, um, I think at one point. And and then there's this thing. There was a family. This was reported a few months ago that there was a family living with him on his farm that was trying to. Um, supposedly they were hiding from the father. It was the
Mhm.
wife and the children. And the big issue with that is reports were coming out that there was guns and bullets littered all over Ezra Miller's house. CPS had been contacted and had been involved in the situation uh, because of potentially dangerous living conditions for everyone. There's lots of drugs there. Ezra Miller's operating an unlicensed pot farm there in Vermont as well. But the most recent information to come out is that the family that's supposed to be living on this Vermont farm is missing. They can't find them. So that on top of Ezra Miller stealing liquor from his neighbors and being charged for the burglary. On top of that, um, what else have you? Did I leave anything out? What else have you picked up
I
on
mean,
with
some things
regards
have
to Ezra?
been news to me. Uh, like from when I was reviewing his history, there were some things that started in Hawaii. Like he
Hmm.
was getting into altercations, like things that didn't even matter. Like I think a couple was doing karaoke and he didn't like that, and so he started something with that. And then there's another incident, and then all of a sudden it was like there's articles with him yeah, with minors, and
Hmm.
obviously that's always gives you a
Yeah.
bad taste in your mouth or leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But yeah, the family in Vermont, when I was reading into it, I think they said it was a 25-year-old woman with three kids.
Hmm.
I think between the ages of 1 to 5, and one of them it said that the 1-year-old was found to have she had put a bullet in her mouth
Hmm. Yep.
because it
Yeah.
was just I guess that was just the state of where they were living. Like it was just messy and there was
Hmm.
guns and weed around. Um, but yeah, that's what I've looked into it. But yeah, he seems troubled.
Hmm. What bits was new to you?
It had to do with one of the families that you mentioned, not the one in Vermont, but the other one about the little girl and the liquor bottle, or because
Okay.
from what I heard, there was another incident with a family. They ended up putting, I think they, I don't know what exactly it was, but they did say that he wasn't allowed to visit because I guess he was hugging their daughter, or
Hmm. Yeah,
and
that
the
was
daughter felt uncomfortable.
yeah, that
Oh,
all happened at a birthday party. He was invited because he was like a neighbor of somebody that was there. That
uh-huh.
girl, which I think is trans, so that like they were there, but he like fixated on that girl, like on that young person, like sat next to them, scooted their chair next to them and everything, and would talk to them like, you can come to my farm, do you like horses, I'll buy you a horse, just like doing all sorts of things to like uh
Grooming.
yeah, yeah. We got to be careful with that word. Our stream can be taken down for
Oh.
but yeah, I mean essentially that's that the things that he says, like he promises to buy things, like he tries to buy the affection of people. I see that quite a bit. um he throws his money around a lot, but
It
yeah,
seems like he tries to get young people,
yeah,
like he
yeah, yeah,
tries to accumulate young people.
yeah. And apparently there's aside from that girl, the one that travels with him, there's supposedly several other like people. He has like a group of, I guess, groupies that he keeps with him constantly. So he's very much like a cult leader. So it's very strange. Yeah, the ages 1, 4, and 5, that family's missing. So um, they're trying to find those people. This is very scary. This is very scary. I hope this gets resolved in a peaceful way. I hope that family is okay.
Mhm.
Um, Especially those babies that they have with them. I hope they're fine. I don't want. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I feel like people are so quick to be like, oh, he needs to be shot and put down, blah 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 blah. I think that's crazy. Like, I don't think people need to be um like that black and white like idea of things. Sorry, I'm like noticing dust on my desk and I'm like wiping it down. The
I'm the same, I'm not for violence.
Yeah, if
I
we can,
understand it though. I understand that feeling, especially of all the children.
yeah,
I understand that.
yeah,
But
yeah, that's yeah, when kids are involved, that's terrifying. And these people, yeah. Oh, you know that girl at the party? I completely forgot about this. Do you know that he came back? He went to the house of or the living uh domicile that they resided in. He went back there dressed up as a cowboy, like full on like cowboyed up, look, went back to their house to apologize, but he was very insistent about talking to the young person directly. Like not just
that's so odd.
apologizing to the parents and the whole family or anything like that. It was just very, oh my god, the dude is so
It's
very
really weird.
strange. Very weird.
Can you imagine how scared that kid was? Or the parents are like, "Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Please
real.
leave."
Like, no, no, that's okay. You smell like ions. I don't know. Flash joke. Um, yeah, very, very strange. Very strange. I yeah, I hope that gets resolved because he's so the big issue with that is um so Warner, I think it was earlier this week, but their last earnings call that they were talking to they had Zaslav talking, and he was asked specifically about the lineup, and he said that if you didn't know, they canceled a bunch of projects over there at Warner. So the Batgirl
Batgirl.
movie
Yeah,
got
I
canceled.
heard that.
A bunch of other projects got shelved, but the um, the ones that are still going forward are Black Adam, Aquaman, and Flash. And the thing is, in that earnings call, they said that they liked the Flash and that they were going to still move forward with that film. They had a lot of confidence in it. They thought it was a good film, and they're going to release good films. The thing that's been strange is if you look at even the promotional material that they had for the San Diego Comic Con when they showed the Flash, they didn't show Ezra Miller. Like they showed like the silhouette of the Flash, but there was nothing with him on any of the publicity to show that, which led to a bunch of speculation that they were potentially looking at replacing Ezra Miller in that movie, which some people estimate is probably, if they were to do that, would probably cost the movie an additional 100 million to $200 million. So basically doubling the budget, nearly doubling,
It's
potentially.
like redoing the whole movie.
Basically, yeah, because he doesn't just play the Flash in that movie. He plays multiple versions of the Flash across different multiverses.
That's so much work.
Yeah. So I don't know how viable that idea is of reshooting the movie. So rumors are starting to pick up, especially with him recently being charged with burglary. That Warner has a serious issue on their hands with in terms of publicity surrounding the Flash film and Ezra Miller, and they may scrap the entire thing because every millions of dollars that they saved is going to go out the window trying to reshoot this and replace Ezra Miller in that movie. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be as um, people point to. Uh, there's a Night of the Living Dead uh, type. Actually, I think it is Living Dead movie that's on Netflix that was shot by Zack Snyder, who did the Justice League film and the first couple of Justice DC films. He he did this zombie movie, and one of the actors I guess had a Me Too moment, so they had to replace that actor completely. And what they did is, because the film was already shot and everything, they reshot the scenes on a green screen set with a new actress, and then they added the actress in over all of those other scenes, so it looks really really good. They did a solid job of getting the lighting and everything to match. You almost can't even tell, and I say almost because if you look really, really hard and you have an understanding of how the effect was done, you can tell. But other than that, it's pretty close to flawless. But the amount of effort to put it in at that uh, with that level of quality is a massive undertaking when you're talking about a person who's playing multiple parts in a film. So they're either going to have to just suck it up and release the film altogether as is, or scrap it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Hmm.
I just don't think it's. I don't know how much money they plan on making with that film. It must be amazing. It must be the greatest freaking Flash film ever. And I've been begging for a Flash movie. I want a big budget. Like I want to see the Flash and the Time Force. I want to see him doing 1,000 punches a second and destroying somebody. Like that's the cool thing about the Flash is he's not like the strongest character, but he can rock your armor. Like say you're wearing like armor, he can rock your armor, figure out what the frequency is that your armor vibrates at, and then what the breaking point of like everything has a resonance frequency. Like glass, you see people like crack glass with sound waves. The Flash can do that with armor. He can hit your armor with such velocity to match the resonance frequency to shatter your armor. So the Flash is freaking amazing, and if he really wants to, he can run around the planet, build up his speed, and then punch you in the face and obliterate you with the same, with almost the same power as like a half-ass punch from Superman. So
He's running around the earth, build up his energy.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he can just keep going faster and faster and faster. And actually, there's a badass scene. I'll pull it up. But what are your thoughts on this? What do you think? Do you, do you have an opinion on what you think Warner should do? Because Warner in the past has dropped Johnny Depp because of the controversy surrounding him. Do you think that they maybe are gun shy about doing that with Ezra Miller because of some of the blowback they've had because they did that? Or do you think that that's sort of an indicator that, yeah, I mean, they could just completely scrap him and
I
this movie?
I feel like they're trying to figure it out. Because honestly, it seems like any other time there should have already been a decision. But it sounds like they put a lot of work and detail into this movie, and it's really unfortunate that they have a star that's embroiled in so much controversy, because I'm sure he did a great job. I'm sure he did. I don't know, I like Ezra Miller on screen, there's something about him.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate that he's got so many issues that I find so atrocious.
yeah,
So, I mean, I wouldn't want to see it personally,
yeah,
but it sucks that you can't enjoy that version, or
right,
at least I don't think many
yeah,
people could, knowing his history.
right, yeah, yeah. I agree.
So I don't
Um,
envy them.
yeah, I don't envy them at all. So this is
I
the
think
Flash
they
that,
completely bungled the Johnny Depp thing.
yes, they did. They did bungle the whole Johnny Depp thing. Um, and I want to watch this real quick. And
Mm.
you wanted to touch on a Johnny Depp film, right? That's coming up, right?
We could briefly touch on it.
Okay, yeah, we can briefly touch on it. This is the Flash that I grew up on, so we'll run a few minutes over,
Okay.
just so we can get on these things. This is so freaking. I love this. Shout out to Entertainment Pact for having this uploaded. Um,
Can there not be, sound?
you want no sound?
Oh, no, can there be sound? I can't hear it, I guess.
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh, you don't
Uh-uh.
hear that at all?
Uh-uh.
Oh, well then I guess no sound. I don't know why. I don't know why there's no sound.
It could just be my AirPod, I don't know.
It should be capturing all the sound from my desktop, so
Oh, we got Wonder Woman too?
hmm. I don't know why
So
there's no
this
sound. It's weird because I'm
are
getting sound. I'll have to figure that out. So, anyways, they're getting beat up here.
this is Luther?
Well, actually, this is Brainiac. So,
Oh,
Brainiac took over Luther. Luther thought he was Luther thought he was pulling a fast one on Brainiac, and Brainiac ended up completely taking him over.
is there any part of Luther left over, or is it just Brainiac?
For the most part, it's like Luther's
Oh
physical
my
body is
god.
there.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Did he just
once
shake his
Brainiac
arm
is
so
defeated,
fast he
yeah, he vibrated his arms and destroyed the men. And then it looks like the Flash like runs away.
Uh-huh.
Nah, he just ran around the planet and then punched him, just broke his armor.
Is he going for another round?
Yep. That's what it
Oh God.
The Flash is so badass.
He went around several times.
Hmm. Now he's so juiced up with the Speed Force. He's literally punching him, breaking the armor off of him. Yep. And then he dies. Um,
Wait, the Flash dies?
he almost does. He
Oh, okay.
So the problem with him going that fast is he uh he becomes a little too in tuned with the Speed Force, and so he actually like ends up he can get all of his molecules are moving and vibrating so quickly with the juiced up Speed Force. He actually ends up um, he actually ends up like fading into it, and he can actually like disperse and become part of the Speed Force, which basically he disappears. So
Oh.
that's a problem with the speedsters is if they push themselves too hard, they can actually get absorbed into the Speed Force if they're not careful. If they push too hard, but
I like
Barry's
how
the
there's cons.
yeah, it's awesome. Like that man, the Flash can be so awesome, and we just never ever get that version of him. So and yeah, that stuff is cool. I need to look up some of this stuff a little bit more. But there's oh, I didn't mean to close that. What was the what's the name of this Johnny Depp movie? You were excited about this one.
It's King Louis, and I believe it's 15X5 or XV is the but from what I understand, it's about King Louis towards the end of his reign and his last I don't know what they call mistress, who was a commoner. And it just seems really interesting. It's Johnny Depp's first movie that he'll be doing, or first feature film, I believe he's been doing since for like 3 years. Um, I guess since he lost Fantastic Beasts
Oh, okay. Is there
is what it
a
is. But from what I understand, they just started filming in France, and it's 11-week production. So they just released their first like teaser pic as Johnny
oh,
Depp dressed up.
very cool. All right, let me see if I can.
But I'm always interested to see like what kind of take Johnny Depp's gonna have, like how he envisions the character,
Right.
because it's always so unique.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look at this. So this is the first image, first official image of him as King Louis.
Hmm.
And let's see. Why Not Productions released a first look on Depp as King Louis the Fifth. Is that 15th? The former king of France. I'm so bad with Roman numerals. I'm like, is that
Me
it?
too.
I
I
feel like
know.
I feel like a real big R word whenever I can't figure it out right the first time. Last royal mistress Jean de Berry, who was born the illegitimate daughter of an impoverished seamstress and climbed to social hierarchy to become the king's lover. Ooh, so it's going to be a spicy movie. The historical romance marks Depp's first feature role since his defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard, which concluded in June after 6 weeks of media mayhem. Mayhem. The jury found that Heard defamed Depp when she wrote her 2018 Washington Post op-ed in which she identified herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. I like how they put that in quotation marks. Like she represented
Uh-huh.
herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. Um,
She identified with it.
I'm sure it's not written that way, but that's how I'm going to read it. Um,
Yep.
Oh my gosh. But production on Jean de Barry began in France about a month after the trial came to a close, according to Deadline. Shooting locations span Paris. That's got to be a fun. That's gonna be a fun shoot, bouncing around Versailles and everything. Yeah, that is exciting. Yeah, you're right. Seeing his take on things is always it's like half the fun of going to see Johnny Depp, especially you know in this respect because it's a historical figure. That's gonna be fun to check out. And
Yeah, I think so too. It's just kind of fun. I never really think about time because, you just go with it, but when I realized how many movies Johnny Depp was in that we actually saw growing up,
yeah,
and then just to kinda go through this life with him, like, from obviously from an outsider's perspective and to
hmm
see, what happened to him and the things that he's had to go through. It's so nice to see this
hmm
part of it, this new beginning
yeah,
of
yeah,
him starting to get movie roles and,
yeah. I
um
grew up on him in um, yeah, 21 Jump Street, watching him on reruns and that. Watching uh, what was it, Crybaby, which is such a weird film. Uh,
Mhm, I thought so too.
yeah, watching him in that. Edward Scissorhands. I mean, how often did we watch him and Winona Ryder in Edward Scissorhands? Such a
Such a
great
great
movie.
movie.
And yeah, you know what? It's so weird to think about, but I feel like almost it's so strange because his career got started with Tim Burton, and um, I don't think there would be Johnny Depp without Edward Scissorhands, coming along and everything. But I almost feel like his weakest movies are with Tim Burton. Like he makes some really good ones, but sometimes like those movies, it's just like it's almost too much Tim and too much Johnny. Like they both have these two gigantic uh egos which sometimes works together, and then sometimes it's almost like they're dueling each other, like you can't quite get there because at the same time that Tim Burton's making movies like um with Johnny Depp, like what was it, there was another movie that he did around the same time that Tim Burton was releasing Big Fish, and Big Fish is incredible. I mean, Johnny Depp's not in it, but because that one was Ewan McGregor, and Helen Bonham Carter is also in that, for I think for she plays a small part in there, and I can't remember the actress that plays opposite of
I like the lighting in Big Fish.
yeah, and then
It's so
oh my gosh,
whimsical.
the absolutely like wonderful Albert Finney plays the older
Mhm.
version of Ewan McGregor's character in that movie, and there's just so many. That's such a underrated film. Underrated film. People need to watch it. It's so good. I love that movie. Um, but that's probably like the best Tim Burton film without Johnny Depp. I just feel like they're better without each other now. It's like it's almost like they're too chummy with each other to really give themselves any sort of objective like, oh, I think that's a good thing. Maybe you shouldn't do that. I don't know if it quite fits. I feel like they're both just like yes men to each other. Like that's how you end up
Maybe.
in a devil worshipping orgy, is having two friends like that. Um
They're definitely unique on their own. Maybe their uniqueness together doesn't always work. I've always
yeah.
enjoyed their projects, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
they're just so wild sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like if they had gotten somebody other than, because when did Tim Burton produce or did he direct Willy Wonka? I can't quite
Let me
remember.
take a look. Yeah, Willy Wonka, that could have been, you're right, that one wasn't, the
'Cause I
original was gonna be so hard to beat though, you know?
Yeah, because like that movie, like yeah, that
It was
movie's
Tim Burton.
it was Tim
Yeah,
Burton directing?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, yeah, I feel like if it had been somebody other than Tim Burton directing that, I think we would have gotten a really great movie in that. But yeah,
Someone to like ground the eccentric character of Johnny Depp.
yeah, yeah, agreed.
That movie was wild though.
That was a wild one. Like there's oh man, yeah, I feel like the original was made at the right time. So, the original movie, it just like you had the right group of people, the country and the world, for that matter, was ready for that type of humor, and they still managed to fit in Snosberries into the script, even though Snosberries is definitely like a reference to dicks. I don't think people realize that. Like Snosberry is a slang term for dick. Like it doesn't really exist, but it was a term used in the colloquially in the 70s in the United Kingdom, uh, as a reference to male genitalia, Snosberries,
I did not know
and that's why it's so funny that the bratty like Baruka Salt is all like, he's like, the Snosberries taste like Snosberries. There's no
that.
such thing. But yeah, so funny,
That
so
is
funny.
funny.
But that's it. That's it. I'm excited for this Louis movie. I'm looking forward to seeing some like unique Johnny Depp. His last few movies have been decent. If they, not very popular, but they're solid films. There's one where he's like he's what was it? He's running around in Japan or something like that. Um, I got to check out the synopsis, but I've heard good things about that one. So yeah, I got to get some more. And we watched the second Pirates movie when I was in Texas last time, and
Hmm.
that was a lot of fun. It was long. Like
It's
I
so
think
long.
that was the complaint back then, is the movie was too damn long, and it still is. That that has not changed. I felt like the movie should have ended several times, and then it
That
continued
was an
for an hour.
adventure for sure. I know. Every time I thought it was about to end, it just kept going.
We were both so cranky. We're like, oh. But yeah, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Um, do you have anything coming up? Are you looking forward to seeing anything? Have you seen anything recently, or you want to shout out or call out
No,
before we go?
no, I'm rewatching Bridgerton season 2 right now because I know they're beginning filming on the third season, so that kind of got my interest, vamped up. So it's been fun rewatching that.
Okay,
It's if you ever get a chance, it's a good love story.
okay, okay.
I don't think you're into that, but I love
Yeah.
it.
So you have Disney Plus, right?
I do, yeah.
Are you going to be watching any of the Disney Plus series that are coming out? Are you looking forward to Andor or Mando season 3?
Mando season 3 for sure. I don't know about the other ones, but for sure,
Okay.
I'm a huge Mandalorian fan.
Yeah, I'm curious because I don't plan on ever getting any of those, but if you do watch those, I'll be curious to hear what you say about that. Even though you said Obi-Wan was a good show,
It was a good
um,
show.
it
Don't listen
taints
to him.
it taints my view of your opinion. Um, no, it's all
If
good.
you can just go in and enjoy it to just enjoy it, it's good.
I guess
But if
I
you're
just
gonna get wrapped up in like canon and what you
yeah,
think should happen and what that's not possible, then it
canon
will
is kind of
be
important. Canon sort
then
of establishes like how the characters are supposed to react and how the universe is supposed to, it sort of establishes like the rules within the universe. So when people ignore canon and constantly break the rules of the universe and then assassinate the characters by making them do things that they wouldn't normally do, like leave Tatooine when they know that there's inquisitors looking for them, and going to the one place that you're supposed to be protecting is probably a terrible idea, and that no Jedi master would ever make, is kind of a big problem in my eyes. But we get to see little Leia, so fuck me. Uh,
and you get to see Darth be a badass.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Darth, yeah. Like, who spilled my cocoa? Um, no, no, I don't think so. But yeah, that'll be interesting. And then yeah, for me, what was it? I saw Bullet Train. I did like a little preliminary first thoughts on there. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Bullet Train. If you want like mindless, just good fun, and you enjoy Brad Pitt, yeah, definitely check him out. Um, the only thing that I didn't like about the movie, and she did it actually, she actually did it a good job. There's an actress in there. She's in the movie Princess, the one about the princess that knows kung fu and
Oh,
beats
Joey
everybody up.
King?
Is that her name?
Yeah,
She's got like
I remember you don't like her.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
got oversized lips for her face.
I
Like in
think she's
relation
cute.
like in
I like her.
relation to her entire body, her face is completely thrown off by her like sunken in bridge of her nose and her gigantic lips. She looks like a Wallace and Gromit character.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, she
yeah.
was in that movie though. Did she do a good job?
Yeah, yeah. No, I thought she was good. She wasn't she showed range beyond anything I've seen of hers in the kissing booth. So um she's she's a lot of she was good. She was good and she dies, so I mean it's not the best thing, but
Right.
yeah, this is basically what I think she looks like.
Hmm.
That's the best approximation to her. I don't think I'm too far off. What's her name?
Joey King.
Joey Keane. Yeah, nailed it. Look at this.
I don't know. I think she's really pretty. She has a unique look that I like, and
Look at her
she's
in
good
this
at what she
cigar.
does.
Oh, I had to sign in. Look at this. Look at the size of those lips.
She has a unique look, but I think that works for her.
Same person. Tell me the difference between these two photos.
One's a person.
Same person. It's no difference. But I'm just being mean. No, she's
Yeah. Like to be a woman in today's world, like damn.
yeah. Um yeah, no. She's no, she's fine. She's fine. Um it's just yeah, the size of her lips just makes like every facial like uh every, any sort of like contortion or emotion that she emotes through her face is just like extra exaggerated because like on a normal person's lips like you do this movement and you're it's like a subtle thing, but when she does this movement it's like it just the whole face moves. So but
I'll have to look at that. I haven't noticed.
but no, that's it's a great movie. It's a great movie. Oh, and yeah, there's I keep doing this. I keep almost mentioning like cameos that are in the movie, and like I like it's not that big of a deal like in terms of like to the plot of the movie, but I would hate to ruin that experience where like you're
A
watching a film and then
spoiler.
all yeah, and then like you're watching the movie and you're just like it's like, "Oh, I didn't know that person was in the movie." It's like with Deadpool when everybody was like, "Oh, did you see Brad Pitt?" And then everyone's like just looking for Brad Pitt's cameo in Deadpool 2. And but yeah, I don't know. I think it's more fun when people like sort of see it and they're just like, "Oh, hey, it's that guy."
Yeah.
That's a lot more
Yeah, don't
fun.
ruin it for all of us.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. You can it takes a little while for YouTube to catch up when this gets uploaded on there, but as soon as it is, I'll do the same thing I've been doing with the last episodes. I'll download it and I'll upload it to the Nobody's Thoughts podcast, and it'll have the same title and everything on there. We'll get that uploaded, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had a couple of visitors come in. Appreciate the folks dropping by and saying hello, especially this jerk here, motherfucking John. I see you. That's my friend. That's our friend, actually, John.
Hi,
So,
John. When you
yeah,
were
he's
here.
yeah. When he was here, I'll get that uploaded. I might stream tonight.
Nice.
I'm not sure yet. Depends on.
Like a game? Oh,
Yeah, I'll probably do a game.
okay.
It's always fun. I'll probably do that right before Flashcast. Hopefully you get to watch Flashcast. You get to it actually comes on normal time tonight.
Okay, not
Um,
10 p.m.
yeah, yeah. Normally it's 9. There was 10 last time. I think because they had so many people. Uh, there was a bunch of events going on that they had people out and doing that, and I think he was hoping people would get on, but I think people got too drunk, so it was just him and like a few other people. That was pretty fun. It's pretty wild. But yeah, that's it. Everybody, hope you enjoyed the show. Make good life choices, and if you are watching this, share some of your favorite Anne Heche moments, and also do the same thing with Olivia Newton-John. And if you're one of those weirdos that likes Ezra Miller, share one of your favorite moments with Ezra Miller as well. Probably one where, like, before we all thought he was a psycho. So let's leave it at that. All
All right,
right.
guys. Hope you guys have a
Adios.
great day.